Our first guest today is Alicia Nelson with Ambient Art Photography. Welcome.
Thank you.
I'm excited. You brought a lot of great pictures, and I can't wait to share what you brought with the brides and the grooms, because it definitely photography is something that is so very personal.
Yes.
To each client, to each bride and groom, that you really have to build a personal connection. And I think with a lot of the pictures that I've seen that you have, it's very clear to see that you are able to build that comfortable connection.
Yes.
And we'll be showing you lots and lots of pictures. So brides, make sure you pay attention to the pictures coming up here. So Alicia, tell me a little bit about Ambient Art Photography.
Well, we are a husband and wife team. My husband started the business about 6 years ago, and it became his full-time profession about 5 years ago. And over time, I started out as his assistant, and then I began to learn how to use the camera myself. So now I am the official second shooter, and I've been doing that for a few years.
Oh, fun.
We love to have dramatic lighting. We are really passionate about posing our couples so they look their absolute best. We really like to make sure that every shot is flattering of them.
Right. Well, because no one likes to see a bad picture of themselves.
No.
No, not at all. Especially on your wedding day, it's not what you want to see.
Exactly.
So, and there's so many pictures that are taken that it's hard to get every single shot. So you really need to make sure that your photographer is able to at least have some surefire, okay, no, we nailed it on this, and this, and this.
Exactly.
Well, good. So isn't it funny how the wives always kind of get sucked into it? But what you've shown is, and what we've got here, you do all kinds of photography. So you start early on in the process. So not only engagement pictures can you do, but you also do something that a lot of brides are a little skeptical about. So let's tell our brides a little bit about that.
I also do boudoir photography, which is a really fun gift that a bride can give to her groom on the day of the wedding. I can do the hair and the makeup. I will work with other hairstylists and makeup artists as well, but it's a really, really fun, special gift. And what's really amazing about it, too, is I get to know the bride as well, so that by the time the wedding comes along, it's like we're already friends.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, and that comfort level, I think, is so important because being involved with the weddings that I am, I see when a bride and a groom, especially the groom too. I mean, you can't rule him out. If they're not used to taking pictures, they're a little timid, and unless they're really comfortable with their photographer, you don't see them let loose and be themselves. Mm-hmm. And so I think it is so important that you build that relationship as a photographer, that you're able to build that relationship. So, and I don't see how doing a boudoir session you could not build a relationship with your photographer. So, now, is it you that does the boudoir, or does Brett do it as well?
I'm the only one that does the boudoir.
Okay.
So I do the photography, I do the retouching, I can do the hair and the makeup, and then I design the books as well.
Okay.
That the bride gives.
Kind of a full round package right there.
It is.
The hair and makeup, ding, 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 ding.
I know. It's so much fun.
Yeah, I bet.
Much fun.
And getting them all prepped and ready.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, what an experience for the brides to be able to have.
Exactly.
That's a lot of fun. So how many weddings have you guys shot?
Oh my goodness, altogether I'm not even sure, but we try to limit our weddings to about 20 a year. We don't like to do too many because we want to give as much of ourselves to each client as we possibly can, and we don't want to shortchange anybody. And we have kids, so we want to make sure that we have family time worked in there as well.
This is the wedding industry. Family time, what's that? Yeah. Yeah, for those of you who don't know, we don't get a lot of family time in this industry. Okay, well, let's let everyone know how to see some of these pictures a little bit closer. Are all these on your website?
We do have a website, aapweddings.com,
okay.
And we're also on Facebook, so you can look at a lot of our pictures on Facebook as well. And we're always happy to just meet with couples, even if you don't have a wedding date yet. It's kind of good to just get a feel for everyone's style.
Right.
And we have a definite style that we project. We like the drama, we like the sex appeal, and we like to add photojournalistic in there as well.
Right.
So it's good to just kind of meet with a photographer and see if you like their personality and their style.
Right, absolutely. Well, and the style is one thing. 20 years ago we had very traditional photo albums. Mm-hmm. And so every photo album that you looked at was pretty much exactly the same all the way through. And so one of the blessings that I think our brides are are getting now is that there are so many different styles of photography. And it's nice when a photographer can really blend styles and tell the story in their own unique and creative way.
Exactly.
To where a bride and groom are like, oh, well, look at that.
Right.
And really read their story, but without even knowing it was all going on.
Exactly.
I think that's one of the funnest things when the brides say, where was this? You know, they're
Right.
looking at a picture and they see that something was happening at their wedding and they weren't even aware of what was going on, but you're able to capture that. And I think that's what's really important, is that, of course, focusing on bride and groom, but really telling the story of their day.
Exactly. And that's what's fun also about having a husband and wife team, because we could be at two different places at different times, you know. So
Definitely
you
a
have the
bonus.
two different perspectives. One could be in the front of the room for the reception, and someone can be in the back, and just all different angles, which is really fun. And then you have, like, my husband captures things from a male point of view, and I capture things from a female point of view.
And we all know that's a very different point of view.
It is.
Yes.
It really is. And we
Yes.
can put together gorgeous albums, and then that becomes a storybook of your wedding. And how fun to show that to your kids someday. And
Absolutely. Well, and
Love
that's
that.
the thing of it. Your photos are what you have forever.
That's right.
And that's the only thing your kids are ever going to see, because
Right.
most of the time the kids aren't there, or they're probably too young to remember, 10 years
Exactly.
later. So it's really fun to look back and to share that with your family once you start growing your family after the wedding. So,
Exactly.
And you brought some of your albums here.
Yes.
So with your photography packages, do the albums come with that?
every photography collection comes with an album. And this is one of our smaller packages, comes with this album, which is absolutely gorgeous. And like we said, we're talking about starting the day. You know, you have the bride getting ready. You have the group shots, couples. The story of the day is just beautifully laid out. We love nice big pictures in our albums. This is our most popular album with the image on the cover.
Oh, I like
and
that.
Just some more examples of
Nice thick pages.
Oh, I love the thick
Okay.
pages.
Super thick.
Love the thick pages.
Fantastic.
So yeah.
Well, and the print quality is very well as.
Yeah,
I like that.
we like to use high-end photo labs to help create our albums.
Okay.
Because we do want this to last for generations.
Absolutely. Well, and again, I think that's what is so important, is that people spend a chunk of your your budget on your photographer, because it's so important that you have something to walk away with.
Mm-hmm.
The memory of the day, you're not going to be able to experience it all to have the memory of the day, of every single thing that happens.
Yeah.
So by having the album, you really have something to take with you, and it lasts
Yeah.
for a long time. And that's,
Weddings are a whirlwind, man.
it's and I try to tell brides all the time, I'm like, just realize you're not going to get to see it all. It's just going to happen, and all of a sudden it's going to be over, and you're going to be like, what? I don't understand. How can it be over? It does go by so quickly, and people really don't understand that until it's the end of the night, and they're like, oh, you're right. It's over, and it happened quick.
Right.
So you really need to, again, invest. I look at photography as an investment.
I agree.
And you really need to invest in someone quality, who's got the experience, who knows actually what's happening before it actually needs to happen, and who's flexible. And I think that's another important thing with the photographers is once you are at an event, you know that the event kind of creates itself, and it just kind of goes in whatever direction it's going to happen in. And regardless of how well laid out and planned
Right.
it is, it's still going to take on a life of its own. And so with that, you have to have the knowledge with your vendors to know what's happening and to adapt to that and to be flexible with that, so that they can not get caught off guard and still capture everything that's going on. So
Exactly.
you have other pictures to show?
Yeah, I just have a few more. These are some samples, more samples of the glamour or boudoir, and really it's whatever you want it to be as a client. I call them sexy or sweet sessions because it really, a lot of it has to do with the wardrobe and what
Right.
your goals are with these pictures.
And I think a lot of people have a different perspective of what boudoir
Yeah.
can be. And
Exactly.
so I think it's probably whatever comfort level
Exactly.
she's at.
Exactly.
And she can make it that. So
Exactly.
wonderful. Well, let's let our viewers know how to contact you again, set up a meeting so they can get to know you.
You can call my husband, Brett Nelson, at 559-281-7896. We have a new studio that we're opening up. We actually have a grand opening this Saturday as well.
Oh,
this Saturday,
congratulations. That's
thank
great.
you. This Saturday, our studio is located at Bullard and Marks at 7 o'clock p.m. 2787 West Bullard Avenue, Suite 103. Oh,
Okay.
sorry. Well, 103 is our salon. We have a hair salon as well. We're busy people.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and so we have the Mix Salon and Ambient Art Photography Studio.
Okay.
And we're going to have a big grand opening this Saturday. So if you
That's
want to come by and take a look at some of our stuff. And yeah, feel free to contact us through my husband's cell phone, and he can set up a time to meet with you.
All right, fantastic.
All right.
Well, thank you so much for being here.
Thank
I
you
appreciate
so
you
much.
sharing the pictures, and hopefully it set bride's mind a little bit more at ease who might not be so comfortable with doing that boudoir session. But I think it's a time to take advantage of and do it.
Right?
So, and what a great gift for your groom. So
Awesome.
All right,
Thank
well,
you.
thank you again for being here. All right, stay tuned. We've got more coming. We'll be right back.